Call to order, Town of Prescott Valley, regular town council meeting, April 24th, 2025. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Positive voice is present.
Councilmember Keel.
Present.
Councilmember Freund. Councilmember Greer.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Vice Mayor Searcher.
Here.
Mayor Palguda.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'd like to welcome down Pastor Corey Ward with Quad Cities, and he'll lead us in our invocation as well as our pledge. Welcome, sir.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we are so grateful, first and foremost, just for the opportunity to live in such a beautiful town and incredible community here in Prescott Valley. Lord, we are grateful for the leaders that you have appointed to run this town. And God, I just pray that you continue to give them your wisdom in their decision makings that they make for PV. God, I pray for unity over tonight in all of the opinions and different ideas being brought to the table. And Lord, ultimately, we are just grateful for your son, Jesus, and what he did on the cross on our behalf for us. It's in his name we pray. Amen. Please direct your attention to the flag as we take the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, sir. This time, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Williams. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 4A, proclamations. First one up is VFW Buddy Poppy Month, VFW Post 10/22/7. Come on down, guys and ladies.
Whereas the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States has been officially recognized and endorsed by governmental leaders since 1922. And whereas VFW Buddy Poppies are assembled by disabled veterans and the proceeds of this worthy fundraising campaign are used exclusively for the benefit of disabled and needy veterans and the widows and orphans of deceased veterans. And whereas the basic purpose of the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the Veterans of Foreign Wars is eloquently reflected in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now therefore, I, Kel Palguda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as VFW Buddy Poppy Month, and do hereby urge the residents of this community to recognize the merits of this cause by contributing generously to its support through your donations for Buddy Poppies on the day set aside for the distribution of these symbols of appreciation for the sacrifices of our honored dead. And I urge all patriotic citizens to wear a Buddy Poppy as mute evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country and county who have risked their lives in defense of their freedoms, which we continue to enjoy as American citizens. Thank you.
We got a shy group of guys and gals here tonight, folks, so we're just going to take a picture. No, we're going to listen to Latoya. Okay. We'll get over here this way. Come on, this way. Okay. There you go. You're okay, turn around. No, you're okay, guys. You're good. You want a tall guy in the back? There you go. All right, someone's going to have to move. All right.
Okay.
We don't like tall people.
I know.
Come on, Jack. We good, Latoya? We need to move them. There you go, perfect. There you go. You hang on a minute. Come on, sir. Come on this way. There you go. Here we go. There you go. All right, looking good, everyone. One more time for these folks. Next up is Stand With Me, Be Drug Free proclamation.
Whereas Matt Force has proclaimed April 21st through the 25th to be Stand With Me, Be Drug Free Week, And whereas the town of Prescott Valley embraces a vision of a healthy, vibrant, and strong community for children, youth, families, and people of all ages, and celebrates the fact that a majority of people do not abuse drugs and alcohol. Whereas the town of Prescott Valley recognizes that youth prevention is essential based on the fact that 9 of 10 people who struggle with substance use disorders began using substances as teenagers. Whereas knowing that families are adversely affected by illegal drug use, including work problems, legal problems, mental health problems, physical illness, addiction, accidents, accidental death, economic loss, child abuse, destruction of families, driving while impaired, and crimes against persons and property. And whereas the town of Prescott Valley would like to commend and pay tribute to all of its citizens who choose to be free of illegal drugs. Now therefore, I, Mayor Kilpaguda of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim April 21st through the 25th to be Stand With Me, Be Drug-Free Week, and encourage citizens to participate in the celebration of a drug-free, healthy community by participating in the planned events, activities, and displays. Thank you.
Mayor and other members of Town Council. My name is Rex Irwin, and I am a volunteer of Matt Force. Matt Force is a Yavapai County Drug Prevention Coalition whose main goal is to stop drug use before it starts. Our coalition is made up of many stakeholders as well as youth volunteers, over 100, I might add. We offer age-appropriate prevention education and life skills to empower our youth to make better decisions for ourselves. Basically, just everybody that we talk to will make events for them and just make sure that they're doing okay and seeing if we can prevent them from going down the wrong path. We also train high school students to teach kids about making good choices and young people about the dangers of vaping and fentanyl and other type of dangerous drugs, including crack and heroin. But we support our parents and caregivers with free parenting education classes, community trainings, webinars, and resources. Studies have shown that about 84% of people choose not to use illegal drugs. They are forced into it. We are here today to celebrate those who choose to be healthy and provide support to those who need it. We can make a difference by working in partnership in our schools, law enforcement, town governments, and many stakeholders. We ask you all to celebrate Stand With Me by Drug Free Week, April 21st through the 25th, as a way to celebrate making healthier choices for ourselves and our families, and to honor the future of our children. Thank you for letting me take your time to make sure to recognize this week with us and helping us to promote healthy communities.
Little fun fact is I coached Rex when he was this tall in Little League. Next up, Arizona Water Professionals Appreciation Week.
Whereas water is a vital resource for all communities, and the professionals who ensure its safe and reliable delivery are essential to our well-being. And whereas these dedicated individuals, including operators, engineers, technicians, water resources specialists, hydrologists, customer service professionals, and many others, work tirelessly to provide clean drinking water and manage wastewater, ensuring the health and safety of our citizens and the environment. And whereas their expertise and commitment are often unseen, but indispensable, and their work is crucial for the functioning of our society and economy. And whereas Arizona's water industry offers a wide variety of rewarding career opportunities in engineering, hydrology, water operations, biology, policy, economics, business administration, law, and communications. And whereas we recognize and appreciate the important role of these professionals in our communities. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kelpa Gura, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim April 14 through the 18 as Prescott Valley Water Professionals Appreciation Week, and extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the water professionals who are on the front line of the delivery of Prescott Valley's safe and reliable water. Thank you.
Mayor and council, I just want to thank the rest of the team here. You know, we have a lot of people that do work, and you know, when you go and you turn on your water faucet, you don't generally think about the fact that water just comes out. You expect it to, and it does. You don't really think about it, you know, until it doesn't. And so, you know, we have a great team that works on the water side as well as the wastewater side. The people that are out there every day climbing in manholes, working at the wastewater treatment plant, fixing water leaks, answering requests and help from citizens, you know, paying your water bill, just all these simple things that make everything work. And so we got a great group of people here, including the admin staff and the support that we get from management and from you all. So I just want to say thanks to the whole team. It's safe to say I did not coach any of you. Got it, I guess. Lawyer, how we looking? You good? I'm tall. One more time for water. Next up, 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. For a change in pace, Mr. Legler.
Mr. Mayor and Council, nobody ever asks me to read anything, so I'm having to look at this. This is the 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local government bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk, now therefore, I, Kel Palguda, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do recognize the week of May 4 through 10, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Fatima Fernandez, as well as the clerk's department staff, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Prescott Valley to be affixed this 24th day of April, 2025.
Hello, everyone. So being a municipal clerk, it's not just a job. It's a commitment to service to our community and to the everyday details that we have to do that hold our local government together. I want to thank my team and my colleagues and everyone who supports the work that we do because in reality, nobody achieves anything alone. And I'm grateful to be part of a group of people that care so deeply about local government. And for this year's Municipal Clerks Week in May, we created a poster that we're going to display in our office showcasing real life situations where we have helped the town. So happy Municipal Clerks Week to all my fellow clerks. Thank you.
That's the official mascot right there for municipal clerks. One more time. Next up, item 5A, Student of the Month. I'll welcome down Councilwoman Greer.
The town of Prescott Valley, in collaboration with the Optimist Club of Yavapai County and Bradshaw Mountain High School, are honoring these two outstanding students for April. Welcome Lily Ibsen and Josh Herrera. Today, we're recognizing these students for their commitment to the school and community engagement. Because of their hard work, they have been nominated by their school staff and instructors at Bradshaw Mountain High School. Congratulations. Now let's start with Lily. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
I didn't think I'd be first. So I have lived here since I was teeny, but for the last 4 years, I have been working hard in my grades and academics. I will be graduating this May, which is super exciting. And I will be graduating with a weighted 4.3 GPA while balancing flag football, basketball, track and field, and newly this year, the CNA program, which has been a wonderful opportunity. I'll be taking my boards a week after graduation, so let's hope I do well on that. That's soon to come. Other than that, I'm working at Yavapai Oral and Facial Surgery on top of track and field, which has been a great learning opportunity for me. After my graduation, I plan to head up to Brigham Young University to study nursing, and I'll work as a CNA in the meantime because I'll graduate with my certification. So yeah, thank you for nominating me. I really appreciate it.
Josh, why don't you come and tell us about yourself?
Good evening to everyone. My name is Joshua Herrera, and I've lived here since I was 3 years old. I've had an interesting upbringing, to say the least, from moving here due to a divorce to my mother having stage 4 breast cancer. I had to grow up fairly quickly, which honestly benefited me in the long run. Because of that, I've had increased independence, and I've learned how to take care of myself and how to increase my studying capabilities and my grades. As of now, I'm the valedictorian of Bradshaw Mountain High School, and that news blew me away when I heard of it. Furthermore, I was the captain of the swim team this year, and I was also the president of the Science Olympiad Club. Furthermore, I'm the treasurer of my school's chapter of Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, and recently competed on the state level and made it to nationals. I placed 4th in the states in my event business management, and I'll be competing in Anaheim over the summer to represent Arizona. And overall, I just want to say thank you to all of the staff at Bradshaw Mountain High School for supporting me through everything that has gotten me through these years, through rough and through thin. I've just loved every moment I've had at Bradshaw Mountain High School.
Richard Bradshaw, principal of Bradshaw Mountain High School.
Thank you. I always come to this one's a little easier for me. Wow, one of my favorite nights every month. Get to bring our kids. I'd like to thank Mayor Palguda and the town council for having us. Mike from Optimist Club. celebrating our students. We got some great ones. We always do. We got our valedictorian tonight, so nice job. Also have Lily, who's going to be a nurse, and I hope she moves back to Prescott Valley and does nursing in our community to take care of us people who are getting older, and we're going to need extra help. So thank you again, and here's Mike.
And Mike Whiting of the Optimist Club of Yavapai County.
Well, I think we're all happy to do this every month, and it's something that I think we'd be hard pressed to find otherwise if we didn't have a venue like the town council meeting. So we do appreciate the council and the mayor for allowing us to do this. And I think it's interesting, since I am a little more mature, haven't been around high school for a long time, a lot of us don't know what's going on at Bradshaw Mountain, but these two, as well as some of the other students we've recognized throughout the year, are great examples of what's going on in our community and in the high school. So Lily and Josh, those two right there, are Student of the Month this month for April. And as a result of their personal commitment, we're recognizing them, especially their hard work as part of their journey to through Bradshaw Mountain High School. We know this is the beginning, I'm sure it is the beginning for them, to further their achievements and personal growth through new opportunities. So this is just the beginning. You know, we're looking forward to their greater achievements in the future. So whether they pursue a career or take up a trade or continue education at college, we obviously know that Lily and Josh is prepared and they're ready to go. We'd also like to recognize some of the people other than the teachers and staff and faculty at Bradshaw Mountain High School that support our two students, Lily and Josh. We'd like just to ask the relatives of the two students to stand up because we know you've been behind them a lot in terms of helping them. So if you wouldn't mind standing, if you're a relative. And it may be if we continue, and we will next school year, we might have to recognize the relatives' family because they are a great part of helping our Lily and Josh achieve what they have. And, you know, I think without further ado, I'd just like to say it's with sincere pleasure that the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, Town of Prescott Valley, and Bradshaw Mountain High School congratulate them for their outstanding year, or 4 years, I should say, at Bradshaw Mountain. So let's give them a round of applause, please. And we just have a small memento of this evening's event, and that's a certificate. And I'll ask Michael if she would like to give those to Lily and Josh. And as I'll go ahead and read what that says. It's obviously very brief, but the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, in partnership with Bradshaw Mountain High School and Town of Prescott Valley, certify that Lily Upson and Josh Herrera have been named April Students of the Month. And we'd like to give them two Optimist Creed, and we use this as optimists to guide us through the week, the months, the years as we become better human beings. And I think if you can follow the Optimist Creed, hang it up maybe, or put it on your desk as you're working hard, it'll be something that you'll, I think, really like to achieve as well. So I'm going to give you a copy of the Creed. And this is, I think, next month is our last month of the school year. And so we'd like to thank the Bradshaw Mountain High School principal and the staff and faculty for helping us honor these students tonight and again next month. So congratulations again, and we'll see you hopefully in Prescott Valley again.
Next up, item 6, call to the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any persons wishing to address the council must register their name with the town clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. Clerk?
So there's 5 residents registered. I would like to call Steve Carrows, Jennifer Pratt, Kimberly Lopez, Lucy Leyva, and Cindy Neve.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Steve Carroll's Pronghorn Ranch. I can't get by without saying those 2 kids were amazing at the mic. Anyway, I have distributed to council and staff from the National Institute of Justice a copy of the purposes of police body cameras. It contains 5 categories containing 13 purposes. None of these stated purposes include how or why the recent release of a PVPD video of a traffic stop and citation of a member of this council occurred. Consider the following. Did the officer file criminal charges against the council member? No. Did the council member file any sort of complaint against the officer? No. Is it good leadership or even appropriate for the mayor to make public statements in writing against a fellow member of this council? No. Is it appropriate for an uninvolved private citizen to obtain and use such footage against a member of council? Again, no. Additionally, the person who obtained this video is someone who has emerged as a controversial appointed commissioner of a town board subject to the standards of conduct, which begs the question as to why and what appropriate purpose did he have. Furthermore, the officer assigned a civil infraction to this citation rather than a criminal one. This is an acceptable and somewhat common practice within the PVPD for several good reasons. And I have reviewed several other citations that this particular officer has issued where this occurred. He therefore did not provide any special nor specific favoritism to the council member that he has not provided to other members of the public. This event clearly breaches the public trust purpose of the use of police body cameras. It places the council member into double jeopardy since he already had resolved the matter with the court. Unfairly places the officer into an uncomfortable position, and it appears to violate Arizona law establishing privacy rights with regards to certain situations where police body cameras are used. I encourage the town manager and town attorney to establish better lawful controls on the release of body cam footage to avoid future inappropriate use and abuse by uninvolved parties for political purposes, thereby protecting members of the public and police department from reputational harm, which appears to be the driver in this incident. Thank you.
Jennifer Pratt.
Welcome, ma'am. You can use the lower microphone if that's easier for you.
Better?
Just get
Okay.
real close to it. There you
All
go.
right, thank you. Well, I am actually here also to speak about the body cam footage, and thanks to the Optimus Creed, I would like to actually look at the positive about it for a second, because it gave me an opportunity to see a young lady that I've known also since she was little get her award, so that was pretty cool. A little bit about me. I moved here in the fall of 2004 with the intention to be here for 2 years. I was hiding from domestic violence. I had my first experience here seeing Mayor Skoog say a prayer at the town lighting. My second experience was actually meeting then, I believe, Lieutenant Palguda when I was seeking some additional assistance in staying safe from that domestic violence. With the cattle around here and all of the wonderful things, I called my mom and said, it's all going to be okay. I then pulled up my bootstraps, began working toward getting the YMCA going. And now it's going on 21 years. I have raised my children, and I am still hoping that my grandchildren who are being raised here can still get to see that YMCA. Now, yes, there has been some footage released on social media. Ken, I raised my children to know they can do and be anything they want to be, as long as it is moral, legal, and following the morality does not affect anyone negatively, intentionally. And so knowing that, I can't say after watching that footage that any of those three things has been met. Definitely 20 over is not legal. As far as I'm concerned, stealing a dime is still stealing. Definitely, as far as the moralities, I'll let that be a personal choice. I do believe others have been affected negatively. The police officer has been put in an awful position. And I have here the code of conduct, and it discusses integrity, ethical conduct, accountability, honesty, public trust, and creating a positive environment. And I think that's the affecting people negatively, because now, sir, there is a rift between the public and the law enforcement, because they're not able to understand why that particular issue was, that particular ticket was issued in that manner. My having a father who served as a police officer outside the suburbs of Detroit would tell me it was necessary, based on the situation, to serve that ticket. Had Ken fought that ticket, I'm hoping the community can understand it would have pulled the police officer out of the streets where he is better serving to be in court in order to support his reasoning behind the ticket. So I'm hoping that I can continue.
Wrap it up, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Just start wrapping it up.
Yep, I just want to say that I definitely hope that the community can understand the reasoning behind the ticket, support our law enforcement, so that I can continue to look at my mother, who is now in heaven, and tell her that all is going to be okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Clerk?
Kimberly Lopez.
Mayor, I'd like to respond to the criticism.
Councilman, go ahead.
Thank you. I can certainly understand your concern in this matter. The tragic loss of Gabe Grande, a promising young boy, remains incredibly painful to bear for his family and others who loved him. Our community continues to mourn for him. For the record, this traffic stop was not a recent occurrence, but occurred last year. Regretfully, I was taken by surprise and didn't think out my words properly. I told the officer what I had been preliminarily briefed by town staff about the tragic accident that ended Gabe's life. Later, this information turned out to be incorrect, as the driver was subsequently charged with drug driving. At the time of this occurrence, I didn't know that. This video being spread all over social media by my political rivals has caused distress to the Grande family and many others, for which I sincerely apologize. I paid my ticket, I did traffic school, and I learned a lifelong lesson. By the way, I've never had an accident. I hope you can understand what happened. I hope you can recognize that I am a human being and find it in your heart to forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Clerk? Welcome, ma'am.
Kimberly Lopez.
Thank you my name is Kimberly Lopez. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to speak tonight. I am coming to you as the president of the Prescott Frontier Days Rodeo. That is the only role that I am playing tonight. My comment is directed to Mr. Williams in the wonderful post that he decided to stick out there about that Prescott Valley wanted the rodeo back. I am here to say on behalf of Prescott Frontier Days, you have never had our rodeo out here. You did, though, have the Turquoise Circuit finals, which is now in a different city. If you would like to have the contact information for the president of that board, I'd be more than happy to give that to you. You also talk in this post about your fabulous investigative journalism. Nothing in that article was factual. The only thing that was factual was that you did, and I thank you for this, give me the names of the people that are on a steering committee that was closed to the public that posted this in an article. So thank you for that, because we will be addressing that. Beside me is Rex Henshaw, who is my vice president. And we are here to tell you that if you would like to sit down and have a conversation about the Prescott Frontier Days Rodeo, about our history and where we plan on going, I'd be more than happy to sit down. That is an open invitation to you. But I would urge you to stop looking foolish and posting things that are not true. Do you have something to say? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Point of order, Mayor. Since I was named and the OML allows a comment back, I believe about 90% of my notes came from minutes of the meeting in Prescott and the content of a Courier article. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Clerk,
Lucy Leiva,
welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Lucy Leiva. I'm a former council member. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, today I stand before you to address an incident that has left me and many others in our community feeling deeply disappointed. Recently, we witnessed from a video that a council member was pulled over by a police officer for speeding 20 miles an hour over the limit in a residential area where our families and kids live and play. What followed this traffic stop was not only surprising, but frankly embarrassing for all of us who look at our leaders for guidance and integrity. When approached by the officer, and instead of taking responsibility for his actions, this council member lied and suggested that he should not receive a ticket. This reaction is not just inappropriate, it undermines the very principle of accountability and respect that we expect from our leaders. It sends a troubling message to our community, especially to our youth, that it's acceptable to evade consequences for one's actions simply because of a title or a position. As a leader in our local government, this council member is expected to set an example, like everybody else. We look to our leaders to demonstrate integrity, humility, and respect for the law, especially. Values that are fundamental to our society. Instead, we were shown a lack of accountability and an attitude that suggests some are above the law. This behavior is shameful, and it diminishes the truth that we as a people place in our leaders. I urge this council member to reflect on this incident and recognize the impact of these actions on our community's trust and morals. It is crucial that our leaders acknowledge their mistakes and work towards regaining the respect of the people. In conclusion, let us hold our leaders accountable and demand better behavior from those who represent us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Clerk, do we have anyone else?
Cindy Neve,
Cindy?
My name is Cindy Nevey. I live in Viewpoint North.
Ma'am, you just want to get a little bit over to the side of the microphone. Just get to the microphone.
This one?
Yeah, that'll be a lot better for you.
Okay. My name is Cindy Nevey. I live in Viewpoint North. I am a friend of Ken Freund and Carrie. He is one of the kindest persons I have ever known. In fact, he's a real hero. He pulled a man out of an overturned truck that was on fire. He got a Medal of Valor for doing this. He then was asked to serve on the, I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous, to serve on the search and rescue team, which he did for many years. Because of this, his life has been, has put on the line many times, just like firemen and policemen. Many people here would risk their life. How many people here would risk their life to save someone else? I accidentally scraped Ken's car fender one time with my car. Instead of being angry, he offered to fix my car. How many people here tonight have ever been stopped by a law enforcement for a traffic infraction and asked for a warning or made an excuse, hoping that they wouldn't get a ticket? I believe that the people posting these things on the public media have been spiteful. And the former council, if the former council had not squandered $400,000 on the Prescott Valley Arch and the photo opportunities, instead used it for multi-use paths to make our community safer, 2 14-year-old boys may not have been killed riding bicycles on Viewpoint. The first boy, Jaden, was killed in a crosswalk. There were no crosswalks there, but there are now. The former council has been, if the former council had been proactive, both young boys, Jaden and Gabe, might still be alive. Just 10 days ago, a 15-year-old girl riding a bike was hit by a car. Quoting the newspaper, the girl was seriously injured and was flown to Phoenix. How many mistakes have all of us made in our lifetime? As the Bible says, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And
Ma'am.
thank you.
Council communications, I'll start to my left. Councilwoman Keel. Council comments.
I just wanted to let everybody know that I was at the birthday lunch at Casa last week, and we celebrated Violet Kushel's 100th birthday. And it was a lot of fun to be there. Joe was there with me. Thank you. And on that note, I would also like to recognize my dear friends Ellen and Joe, who just celebrated a 50th wedding anniversary on Easter Sunday. So congratulations. And I also wanted to let everybody know that we have the Glassford Dells Park review on 4:30 at 5:30 at the Park and Rec building if you want to come and give some input for the development of Glassford Hill. Thanks.
Councilwoman.
This year's Prescott Valley Praise is May 1st at 7:30 at Life Point Church on Highway 69. It's it's a lovely, lovely event, and because of limited space, they would like you to RSVP at pvpraise.com.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say that myself, council members Keel, Greer, and Schumacher attended the Humboldt Education Foundation Teacher of the Year banquet last Thursday evening. And I just wanted to congratulate publicly Tricia Budd of Bradshaw Mountain Middle School and CJ Damko of Coyote Springs Elementary for being named Teachers of the Year. It was amazing to hear the students' essays for both these teachers and all the teachers that were finalists for Teacher of the Year. It was just a great event, and again, congratulations.
And I'll piggyback on Councilwoman Keel. I think the real effort and the real hero in the 50-year anniversary goes to Ellen Hoytis. For anyone that knows Joe, 50 years with him means something. So congratulations, guys. Good for you. Manager's report.
The only thing I have, Mayor and members of the council and the public, is we do have a fun event this weekend, Cops and Bobbers. So if you're looking to go fishing and not have to pay for a fishing license and fish with your favorite cop, you can do that from 8 to 12 at Fane Park, and is a great annual event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Council, if we're good with the way the consent agenda is, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve all items listed under consent agenda by electronic vote.
A second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 10, new business, FDP 24-007, Lookout Ridge at Stone Ridge, Unit 5, consideration and possible action. Mr. Norlock, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. As you said, this is a final development plan for Lookout Ridge at Stone Ridge. The site is at parcel 103-05-927D, just south of Lucky Draw Drive and west of Stone Ridge Trailhead Park. It is approximately 11.27 acres. This site was originally proposed as a school site with PL land use designation, which is public land. In 2019, a general plan amendment was approved by Town Council to change the land use designation to low density and rezoned from PL to R1L pad to accommodate 19 single-family units. The site is surrounded by RLPD zoning on the northwest and south sides and PL zoning to the east, which is the Stone Ridge Trailhead Park. The general plan designation for this area is residential low density. This project aligns with the general plan 2035 goal by encouraging housing development that utilizes existing capacities in infrastructure. Lookout Ridge at Stone Ridge will consist of 19 single-family units, and the minimum lot size will be 6,900 square feet. And I will take any questions that you have.
Thank you, sir. Council, will you have any questions or comments for Mr. Norlock? I'd just like to add that 6 years ago, I voted against this. And it was at a time where I just wasn't quite familiar with how things actually worked, and I didn't really feel comfortable with that. Since then, I've gained a little bit of knowledge, I think, a little bit of experience, and I recognize that this 100% meets what is the need for Stone Ridge and how it came about and how the developer obtained that property. So I just want to say that. With that being said, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign resolution number 2025-2416, adopting final development plan FDP 24-007 for Lookout Ridge at Stone Ridge Unit 5 with conditions as stated.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Freund? Thank you. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 10B, authorization application of WIFA funding stormwater recharge pilot project. Mr. Wadsworth, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. Tonight we want to talk to you about approving a resolution for debt authorization for us to apply for a loan or a grant from WIFA, and it's for a stormwater retention project, pilot project. And this is a unique technology that helps water to infiltrate into the ground quicker than it might normally. And so we're looking at putting some of this into a stormwater retention basin and actually doing some testing. We would be building two basins, one as a control that would not have the technology in it and one right next to it that would, and we would be doing a comparison to understand how well it works or if it works at all, and that would be the basis for hopefully more stormwater recharge into our groundwaters. And so this is called Parjana, and you can see that these things have funny shapes and you pound them into the ground. Those shafts can be they're differing sizes, but could be up to like 40 feet long. And so you're putting them in the ground. I'll show you a couple pictures here where you put a bunch of them in an area and it improves the infiltration to get the water below where it can actually evaporate. And usually that means you have to get it into the ground 8 feet or deeper to avoid evaporation, not just off of the surface. And so that's the purpose of this, is to get it in the ground quicker, to take and reduce those evaporation losses, okay? This is what kind of the machine looks like on how they install it. And so we would be working with West Consultants to construct the basins, install the Parjana technology, and running a series of tests on it over a period of time. We have received some letters of support for this. One of them is from the Citizens Water Advocacy Group locally here. The other one is from House of Representatives, Representative Wynn, both in support of this. We also have other partners or potential partners that we've been working with who are supportive of this, and we hope to talk to them a little bit more about helping us fund this. At this point in time, we would like the authority to move forward and look at getting a potential grant from WIFA. But the program that we're applying under, it has some constraints, and there's a possibility that we could get 100% grant for this, but there's also possibility that it would be a partial grant and a partial loan. I believe the staff report that you have indicated a 60% grant, and I'm sorry, that was incorrect. It would be a 40% grant with a 60% loan. But our understanding is that WIFA is still looking at things and how they're doing it, and it may end up being different from that. And so we won't know until we actually get a response back from WIFA as far as what they are willing to do, if there's a loan, what the interest rate might be, and what percentage grant versus loan we might end up getting. And so, as I mentioned, we are talking with others about also helping us to fund this project, and we're looking for $664,000 and change for this application to WIFA. With that, I would entertain any questions you might have.
Council, we have questions or comments for Mr. Wadsworth? Councilman Freund.
Sir, if this is, let's say that it turns out to be very successful, that it works well. Is there any plan afoot to apply this to, I believe it's just going to be used for town-owned buildings, is that right? If we use it, you know?
It would be used in any potential drainage area or retention basins that we have existing, and it may impact how future retention basins are designed.
Would you see potentially that it may, in the future, apply to private homes, that it would be incorporated into private homes here?
I couldn't say no, but I think there are other ways that private homeowners could address this issue that may be more economical for them rather than using this particular technology. For instance, capturing rain and then putting in like something that might look like a septic leach field, only the purpose would be for getting the rainwater off of your roof into the ground that way. And we're doing some work with that. We have another grant through WIFA right now where we are designing some of those for some of the commercial buildings in Prescott Valley and potentially even with the Prescott Indian tribe. And so like the wheelhouse up at the fairgrounds is one of those buildings where one of those systems is going to be installed. So there are different things that could be done. Whether this would be directly applicable to homeowners or not, I couldn't tell you. It would be based on economics and then how it does work.
Thank you. Your presentations are always excellent.
Thank you.
Councilman Schumacher.
I agree, they're always excellent. Thank you so much. Is this material made out of the PVC, like pipes are made of?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I just didn't know either, and being white like that, I kind of thought maybe that's what it would be. So we don't know the life expectancy of the material that we're putting in the ground, how long we'll get to use it, or?
I would expect the materials being plastic, that once they are in the ground, they would last for a very, very long time. Things wear out even when they're put underground, like we have PVC pipes and other types of materials. Typically, those are put under a lot of stress with the soils, potentially expanding because of the clays we have or contracting because of drought and so forth. But these installed vertically probably will get less stress from, rising and heaving and thawing of groundwork, and there's not going to be anything else on top of them, not in a traveled roadway. So I think they're going to last for a very long time.
Are we going to be able to see where they're located in order to go back for the testing, or that it gets covered up? We won't really know where they're at.
They'll be in the bottom of basins, and typically once they're installed, you generally won't see them.
Don't see them at all. Okay. I was thinking how hard it is to even just plant a tree here at times with all the rocks that you encounter. And that's what my concern was, but I see the machine that they're using to install it, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, we'll find out what happens when they hit Prescott Valley rocks, so I don't know, but that'll be something we'll find out.
All right, thank you so much.
Councilman Williams.
I think this is very cutting-edge technology, and I'm glad you're trying it. Obviously, if it works, we're going to learn a lot. Now, isn't it true that quite often WIFA, which is a state fund, will waive a loan? I guess there's some kind of criteria, like if you're a success or something. Don't some of those loans get waived often? And I know we can't count on that. I'm just asking the question.
They have different programs, and a lot of times their loans will come with a portion of what they call forgivable principal. So if you get a loan for $1 million, they might forgive 400,000 of it and say you don't have to pay that back. So it ends up being essentially like a grant. Under this program that we're applying for, it's essentially, they're not calling it forgivable principal. They're calling it a partial grant and a partial loan typically. And depending on the qualifications of the community that's applying, it has to do with a lot of different things on, the economics of the community. It has to do with the shape of your water system and whether you need a grant from them, from this particular grant fund. You could qualify even for a 100% grant up to a certain amount of money, up to say $2 million. Where we're looking to fall in this right now seems to be that we're going to end up with a 60% loan and a 40% grant if we are actually able to get this funding through WIFA.
How long until we know?
Well, we're going to have to finish the application, and we believe we would have an answer probably in June. We don't know. It has to get onto their board meeting. They rank all the projects that they get applications for. We have to make it onto that ranking. We have to get onto a board meeting, and then they have to approve it. So it's looking like the next board meeting that it would be possible for us to get on would be in June. Whether we would be considered at that point or not, I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. It's always good to see that Dr. Beverly is agreeing with the Prescott Valley and encouraged with our efforts for water conservation and preservation. So that's exciting. So with that being said, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign resolution number 2025-2417, allowing staff to submit an initial application to WIFA for $664,358.20 in loan funding for a stormwater recharge pilot project.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Mr. Mayor, that passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 10C, amending town policy number 1-07, flag display on town property. Mr. Legler, are you taking this one?
I am. Mr. Mayor and Council, thank you for the opportunity to talk about this. The the displaying of flags on town property is an important part of what we do. And as you know, we have flags in lots of places. We have flags on poles around our buildings here at the Civic Center. We have flags in our parks. We also have flags from time to time that are temporary, both inside and outside. You know about the outside flags, the yearly flags that we put on poles related to 9/11. And then, of course, all of the rooms and buildings where people will rent those rooms and buildings, or we'll have other events and we'll have flags there. So it's an important thing that we do, and we generally have a lot of experience doing it. And we try to follow federal and state law as we display flags. Recently, a couple of years ago, the city of Boston got in trouble because they didn't have a policy as to exactly how they would display their flags. And some folks came along and said, we consider this to basically be a public forum, and you have to allow us to put our flag up on your pole outside of your building because you don't have a policy that says otherwise. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, you know what? You guys could have said that it's only government speech and that you're going to do this, 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 and this with your flags. But because you didn't, we do believe that it's something that anybody could put up, and you're in trouble. So since then, the League of Cities and Towns has been working with all of the municipalities in Arizona to look at our practices. And we've brought before you an effort to amend our policy 107 that deals with handling facilities. And we've tried to think of everything that we've done with flags or that we think we might do with flags, and to give ourselves all of the flexibility we need, but also to make sure we have a coherent, consistent policy that we apply both inside and outside. We've talked with the folks in the various departments, and we think we've figured this out, but we're anxious to get your thoughts and to give you an opportunity to adopt this by resolution.
Council, have any comments with Mr. Legler on this topic? Vice Mayor?
I just want to, say thank you to Ivan publicly, because when we first had this on our last agenda, I had some concerns and some things weren't in there that should have been in there. And so staff worked hard to get this right as far as I'm concerned, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Williams?
Well, what is the vision, Mr. Legler? Where will we put them? What logos or stripes will be on them? How far down the road have we gone to plan this?
The resolution explains that the flags are different from the banner program. So as you know, we have banners on our light poles, and we also have striping of streets and, those types of things. But in terms of our flags, we only put flags on the poles outside the buildings here at this center, the Civic Center. We have flags on our parks. We have poles there. We also have, in some rights of way, we have some permanent poles. But as you know, we work with groups who will come and bring flags on smaller poles that they put out temporarily for various events. And we also, again, have the programs here at this facility out on our grassy areas. We also allow people to use flags if they rent some of our facilities. And we believe we've got some good explanations about what they can put up and what they can't. So we think we've figured out just about everything we do, and we've covered just about everything we can anticipate would be done inside and outside with a flag. But it would be government speech, and there would still be some limitations. People couldn't put just anything they would want to put up. Does that answer your question, Mr. Williams?
Close, but, I'm a veteran, I'm a proud veteran. Between me and my 4 uncles and my dad, we represented every branch of the service. But my concern would be, is this going to apply to every branch gets to post, like, I guess I'm picking the geographic, it's over in that direction where we kind of honor the veterans and...
Yes, there's specific language that will make sure that those flags can always be flown, the flags of the various services.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign resolution number 2025-2414, amending town policy number 1-07, town facilities usage to provide guidance for display of flags on town property by electronic vote.
Second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Mayor, that passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. We've reached the end of the agenda. Council, is there anything for the good of the order we need to speak on? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thanks for coming out, everyone.